After days on the road, we felt the energy shift as Gyangze finally came into view. We, Gunter, Matthias, and I, were genuinely excited to get out and explore the town the moment we saw it. From a distance, Gyangze doesn't announce itself with modern buildings or skyline drama. Instead, what catches your eye is something older and more commanding, a fortress rising above the valley, and below it, a town that still feels like a crossroads of the Tibetan plateau. Gyangze sits in a fertile river valley compared to the surrounding high country, and you can sense why it mattered historically. This was a strategic point on the route between Lhasa and Shigatse, and also a place where trade, travel, and politics naturally concentrated. Even today, the geography tells you the story. Valleys channel movement, and whoever controls the valley controls the road. As we walked into town, the atmosphere felt different from Lhasa. Smaller, more open, less crowded, and in some ways more intimate. We were still noticeable, of course, but Gyangze had the feeling of a living town rather than a capital. People were out doing daily life, moving goods, tending animals, talking in small groups, while the fortress watched over everything from above. That fortress is the Gyangze Dzong, one of the best preserved fortifications in Tibet. When you look at it, you understand immediately why it was built there. The position is pure strategy, steep rock, wide views, and an almost natural sense of defense. We could imagine what it must have meant for local people to see that structure as a symbol of protection, something that said, "This place endures." And then there's the history that made Gyangze famous far beyond Tibet. In 1904, during the British expedition into Tibet, Gyangze became one of the central points of resistance. The imbalance of technology was stark. British forces arrived with modern weapons. Tibetan defenders fought with whatever they had, older firearms, spears, and in many cases stones and slingshots, trying to defend their land against an army that had come from very far away with very different tools of war. Standing there, that history doesn't feel abstract. You're looking at terrain where people actually fought and died. You're looking at walls meant to stop an enemy climbing upward. You can imagine defenders above, using height, stones, and determination against modern firepower. Whatever one's politics, the human reality is unmistakable: courage, fear, and the decision to resist. But what truly defines Gyangze is not only the fortress, it's what lies below it. We made our way toward Pelkhor Chöde, also known as Palcho Monastery, and its famous Kumbum, a massive, multi-level stupa unlike anything else in Tibet. From the outside, it's impressive, rising solidly from the town like a mountain of belief. But its deeper impact comes from what it represents: devotion turned into architecture, and belief shaped into a space you physically enter and move through. The Kumbum is not meant to be admired from a distance. It invites you inside. As you walk its narrow corridors and begin to climb, the structure unfolds gradually, level by level, chapel by chapel. The walls are filled with murals, statues, and symbolic imagery. Each space feels intentional, as if designed to slow you down, to focus your attention, and to guide the mind as much as the body. As you move upward, the experience becomes both physical and spiritual. The climb is gentle but persistent, mirroring the discipline and patience central to Tibetan Buddhist practice. This is not Buddhism as an abstract philosophy. It is Buddhism as something you inhabit with your whole body. Movement itself becomes part of contemplation. As we explored, the contrast between inside and outside was striking. Beyond the monastery walls, daily life continued as it always had. People working, talking, tending animals, moving through the town with purpose. Inside, the atmosphere shifted. The space was quiet, ordered, and reflective, designed to remind visitors of impermanence, discipline, and compassion. In Gyangze, The sacred and the ordinary coexist naturally, without sharp boundaries separating one from the other. In 1985, the experience still felt immediate and unfiltered. The monastery did not feel curated for outsiders or staged for visitors. It felt like a living spiritual center, actively used by the community it served. The presence of devotion felt practical rather than performative, woven into the rhythm of everyday life. We walked through the city when the light was sharp and clear, revealing every texture in the stone walls. By the time we finished exploring, the visit to this ancient city felt like far more than a stop along the road. It felt like a place where Tibet's layers, fortress and monastery, resistance and faith, daily survival and spiritual practice, were visible all at once, and we were grateful we had made it there.